Good morning, lunatics. Well, I'm Matt Sunday and I'm with DK, which means I do the Good Morning Lunatics
thing. He does
thing.
that. And I do the Get-Go has really, really good fish sandwiches thing, which is an accurate thing, by the way. It's
we all do that thing.
Yeah.
That's like a whole staff thing. We all actually like enjoy it too.
Yeah, especially Taylor. I think she enjoys them more than anybody.
It's that Maryland thing.
Yeah, that's right. She said that seafood in Maryland. That makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about the Penguins and the Washington Capitals tonight right here at PPG Paints Arena. And I like the matchup Sunday for just one reason, and that
Ryan
is...
Reeves. Oh, wait, no, he's gone.
Yeah, I like the matchup just because it's a physical opponent. It keeps them on their toes, and we've seen how well they've done against these teams.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, Tom Wilson's been such a factor in all of these games. I know that you guys hate when we talk about Tom Wilson. I know that some of you hate the breakouts about Tom Wilson, but the guy, he's a significant factor when he plays the Penguins.
No, he is.
Or anybody.
But now you're looking at a team that isn't going to back down from him. And that's not to suggest that the Penguins have, a bunch of tough guys and enforcers and whatever else here. But I'm sorry. I don't look at Eric Goodbranson, if I'm a member of the other team from across the rink, and think, there's the guy I want to go mess with.
Well, I was hoping that we'd get a little taste of him going toe-to-toe with the big guy when he faced off against Chara. But, the Penguins in Boston, they never got into any of the physical stuff that you'd expect.
Zdeno's also in his 40s. And Zdeno's not
he's
a
still
tough
bombing,
guy. Yeah,
though.
but he's not a tough guy, per se. He's not a fighter. I mean, he came into the league that way.
He's got 8
joined
feet
the
arms.
Islanders. All I'm saying is I think the Penguins are better equipped between Garrett Wilson, even some size they've got, not necessarily toughness.
I know who you're thinking with Nick
Bukestad, but Zach Trotman also has taken Chris Letang's place. It's been a team that's gotten bigger physically, and I think they're going to be even more effective against teams that try to hit them.
Do you guys know that he just said Zach Trotman has taken Chris Letang's places in an actual sense? So quick story time. We're back in Sunrise, Florida, and a little bet goes on amongst the media members. Which former player was going to score against their former team? Jared McCann, Nick Bukestad, Riley Sheahan, and your favorite former Penguin.
Derek Brassard.
Brassard. DK did not pick Derek Brassard, by the way. He didn't even participate. Didn't want to lose money to me because I picked Jared McCann, even though Nick Bukestad was playing with Sidney Crosby that night.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few chuckles from the media members, but as we're waiting for Mike Sullivan...
How do you chuckle? Like, what is that?
Well, it was kind of like...
Who chuckles?
Wait,
you're going
to pick the guy who was thrown in on this trade, not the guy playing wing for Sidney Crosby tonight. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, I did.
That's a chuckle to you.
There were chuckles involved. It was It was like that. It was chuckling. That's not a full blown
chuckle. Yeah. Okay.
But so one by one, these guys came up and they handed me $5 at the end of the night because I won the bet.
I watched it. You were a $25 richer man.
I was.
Which in Florida currency is like $25.
It sure is, or a big iguana. Now, every time this guy does stuff like he does on this rink, I mean, I remember that.
Yeah. I mean he's been Jared McCann has been everything you could have expected offensively and more. In fairness, I mean, even at the time of the trade, I remember when Taylor was doing her breakdowns of his videos, you saw the finishes that he had. They were world-class finishes, the backhand, the roof shots.
And the almost goal here in this rink where he flat out undressed Matt Murray and for whatever reason couldn't finish. But it was there.
Yeah, he's got that. But the part that's impressed me in this month that he's been with the Penguins has been his 200-foot play, has his ability to see the rink, to make really sharp, clean outlet passes, to play with speed in the neutral zone at a level that Jake Gensel, Brian Rust, Phil Kessel do. And I'm being just specific to that area. I'm not comparing him to those guys overall. Just so well-rounded. How? You know what I'm going to say here. Who in Sunrise, Florida, who in that management, Dale Talon, who looked at this player and said, yeah, I'm just going to throw him in for a couple of rentals?
Well, I mean, this goes back to what we had in Friday Insider a couple of weeks ago, and that the reason that the Penguins gave up those picks and the reason that the trade almost didn't happen, according to a couple people, was Jared McCann. It wasn't
all
Nick
Jim
Bukestad.
wanted. I'm not
saying
no shot at Bukestad here, but Jim Rutherford's target was Jared McCann.
Yeah, he knew that this was a skill guy that could play up and down the lineup, and he's doing it. Tom Wilson.
Tom Wilson. There, see, they watched. That's how it works. We have this magical formula on our site when we're really looking for page views or anything like that. All we have to do is put a headline somewhere on the site that says Tom Wilson something, and it works. So it worked with that segment. You saw it down there the whole time on that little thing that we have there in the bottom right corner that we were going to talk about Tom Wilson.
You know,
and you watched.
Taylor's been accused a couple of times of being a Tom Wilson beat reporter.
On the Tom Wilson beat. Yep.
She is on the Tom Wilson beat. Well, there are reasons, because he gets the Penguins fired up, he gets his team fired up, he gets the fan bases fired up, all in different ways, of course. I don't think that Zach Aston-Reese is by any means fired up by Tom Wilson in a positive way. Looking
at Wilson from afar, and it's been a while since the Penguins have played the Capitals, so we haven't seen him up close, going back to, last fall. But he has been, I hate to say this, but he has been pretty much what he promised NHL player safety that he'd be. He's kept his act mostly clean. He's had a couple of close calls, but he's scored goals. He's done the things that he said he would do.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory because I've been living on this Dominic Simone hill for a little bit, but I somewhat feel bad for Tom Wilson at times, and I don't feel bad for him in the way that he's made these decisions and he's brought this on himself. The way that he plays the game and the acceleration that he creates and the split-second things that happen in hockey games, I don't think that he's always necessarily trying to kill people, even though that's what it looks like.
See, I'm not going to go revisit his past crimes here.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying to Matt Cook this in any way.
Yeah, if you can play that way, but he's played that way his whole life, and he also is aware of what he's doing at that speed.
I think that it's, it's a positive for him where he has tried to kind of reinvent himself. He's scoring goals. He plays big minutes. It's, the times where he makes those mistakes and the times where it looks like he's, that mean guy, that tough guy, that bleep, whatever you want to call him, I think that it's more just the style of play that he has. I mean, it's not always just that I want to kill somebody.
No, but in this particular meeting, I think we can both safely say here, and I know there's people who don't believe in the concept of enforcers or a deterrent, if you will, of a tough guy being that. But the fact of the matter is that Eric Goodbranson can take anybody in this league, okay? But most often he takes them just by existing.
Sure.
Like, there just won't be a fight. There just won't be an altercation because no one wants to deal with him.
Yeah, I mean, very rarely have we seen teams trying to stir things up while he's been on the ice since he joined the Penguins.
Right.
And, when he was acquired by Jim Rutherford, one of the first things we did was look through the photos and the videos.
Hockeyfights.com.
And we pulled the footage of him fighting Wilson. A lot of it was tying up because Wilson doesn't want to give him the room. He doesn't want to have somebody that's that size wailing away on his face. Why would you?
No. Why would anybody?
But the photos are there. The videos are there. Goodbranson has a history with him, and I don't know. Tom's probably not going to want to.
I don't think you're going to see the worst of Tom Wilson in this matchup.